How's it going, everyone? I've got another demo review for you today. We're looking again at the Highlander Season 11 Premiership season, where my team Strong Opinions went on to win our third title. And we're trying to look at different maps this time around. We took a look at different maps in Season 9 and Season 10, and I didn't really want to go over the same maps like Badwater and Upward and Borneo, because you guys have seen those ones to death. So I thought I would show you guys different maps that we haven't seen before, and if you wanted some kind of interesting feedback on the standard maps, then you can take a look at those older videos. But we're looking at new maps. So far on the Season 11 list, we've taken a look at Coal Plant and we've taken a look at Lakeside, which are two maps I've not shown you before. Today we're going to be looking at Steel. Now, Steel is a map that has been around for a long time. It doesn't matter how long it's been in the game, there are still people who are confused about how it plays. And this is actually an STV demo because I recently moved all of my personal demos over to my external hard drive and I couldn't find the right demo for a point of view. So it's exactly the same, it just means that it's an STV demo instead. This is in fact the last medic POV I'm going to do from this season, because there's no other maps, unless there's any specific maps people are desperate to see. I'm not going to go over and do the same maps that I've done before. So this was Steel. This was week number 5, I think, 4 or 5, can't really remember, and my team played against Stacked, and yeah, we had some good strats on Steel, we had some good practice on it, but obviously it's a map that is very confusing for newcomers, but also for experienced teams. Sometimes you can get some cheesy plays which allow teams to get very fast time. So we're going to see how this goes. There we go, this is me, and it looks like we're just starting up here. We are going to have the view models on, as it's this is actually a festive minigun, but it's showing a default minigun. So yeah, we're starting on defense by the looks of it. And in Steel, the first thing you want to know about Steel, if you're ever playing it in a competitive format, is you don't defend point A. You never defend A because there is literally no point. It's very difficult to hold. Both A and B are available to attack straight away, because they both have these spawn doors that go straight to those points. And the thing with A is it's just not designed very well for a team to be defending. So you just kind of set yourselves up on B. You maybe have 1 or 2 players just keeping an eye out on A, just letting you know what's going on there. Is the entire team there? Is anyone going for a flank or anything like that? But in general, we've just got our team set up on B here. So I've just got just making sure everyone's buffed. As soon as the timer ends, that door is going to open. So I make sure my sniper is excuse the lash in the chat. Just making sure Cloudy, my sniper, is going to be nice and fully buffed so he can win the fights. And as you can see, we've got most of our team there just kind of positioned. I've just got to, my job here is just to make sure people are buffed, mostly our sniper and our demo, because they're the guys who are going to be peeking for damage. Making sure my flank is buffed, because now that they've captured point A, the door from A to E point is now open. So that was a spy. You can see that it's a spy because it's an STV demo, but in my POV I couldn't see it was a spy. So that looks kind of dumb. But they do come in and use Uber because they got the demo pick. And this is going pretty well for the attacking team here. So I'm just backing straight off. I don't want to die. That demo pick was huge, and we didn't have enough players to put down damage during that Uber. So we just kind of lose that, and that's not really good. We generally have quite a decent hold on B point, but they just push us in one attempt. So it's just 109 for that point. So now we're just holding on this area, which is, some people call it BC connector, but this area closer to C is called shelf, because it's got a little shelf area there. So teams can do their own things and learn different calls for different areas. But I'm just healing people here. I'm buffing my NG because he's got a level 2 up there. I just want to make sure he's okay. But most of all, my demo is probably the most important person on this map, simply because he can put so much damage down. Now you see the Ubers come in. I don't have Uber quite yet. Now I do. I didn't want to take any damage from those stickies, and I want my team to chase them down there. And as you can see, our flank is just getting frags left, right, and centre. as they came in to help us on the B point. As you notice, this is pretty much our full roster. Unfortunately, Raptor couldn't play, our soldier, so we have Ubers playing on soldier. He's our backup soldier, who is probably the greatest soldier to ever play this map. So having someone with that experience on our team was very, very helpful. But yeah, we're playing quite passive here because we don't want to get caught out. We've got a sentry, and like you saw before, the sentry took most of the focus when they used their Uber. They came in with Uber, they tried to just take down the sentry, which was being wrangled. Seal did a great job in just keeping it alive. Our demo is holding on the far side, so I'm just giving him an arrow now and again, and that way I can just heal my heavy and he can deny anyone trying to come up that cliff. But we just have to rotate a little bit because they're getting quite a lot of pressure down. Now we have Uber, so I'm just going to use through here because there's so many stickies on the floor. I don't want to let them have too much cap time, so I use the sticky so that we can get straight on there. And I call that there's something lower right. I don't know what it is, but I just saw a glimpse of blue. So that's why I'm holding a little bit further back here, but I take a headshot from a spy, so I'm just backing off here. But then our flank comes in, and when I say flank I mean like scout, soldier, spy. They come in onto C, they join the fight on C because there's nothing for them to do on the flank that they call, and then with the help of our pyro they clean up all of the frags. So as you can see there, like we just got the good exchange, got to use good Uber, and our flank then came over to help. Now that's the most important thing on Steel, is having good communication between the different groups on your team. At some point there may be 3 different groups kind of grouping around. You've got your combo, you've got your flank, and then you've also got your engineer who might be watching a different area as well. So it's really, really important everyone communicates on your team, so you know what's going on. And I'm making sure my sniper is really buffed here because on the right hand side there is a cliff area which comes in from C. Now that is a good opportunity for a sniper to just go up there and try to get some snipes. And as you can see, our snipers gets a nice heavy pick there. Now they used Uber, so I'm just trying to flash people to keep them alive here. I don't want anyone to die, but we do lose our scout and our soldier on the flank, so we're not going to have that backup. But fortunately we've held our ground. We do actually get a med pick there. Our spy manages to take down the enemy medic, so we do know we're ahead in the Uber stakes. That's okay. And we're doing a pretty good hold on C at the moment. Now we saw, if you noticed there, the announcer said something about last point being captured. E can be captured at any point in the game. You don't have to capture any points to capture E. But the thing about E is, the more capture points you own, the quicker it caps and the easier it is to get access to it because bridges come out. I'll talk about that later. But as you can see, there's stuff going on. So I can't see what's going on at E. I have no idea because I'm on C and E is, behind the walls and it's really far away. So I have to rely on my flank to tell me. So my scout, my soldier, people like that, my spy, they have to let us know, is E okay? Is anyone capping E? Do we need to block it? Now we lose quite a few players here, including our heavy, so we don't have that kind of bulky HP block to kind of defend with. So my demo is the most important thing here. If he's in any ounce of danger, I'm going to use Uber on him to keep him alive. But he's saying there's just some stuff going on the point, and he's able to just kind of scare them off a little bit. We have the Uber, and then we're going to use out here because the call comes in. We need to use the Uber and kill stuff on point. And this is where I just say, kill this stuff. Like, I'm just yelling at my demo, kill this, shoot that. The NG's there. And he does kill the medic, and I think it was the heavy as well. So he picks up some really good frags. Our pyro on a 7 kill streak, doing really well there. And we've just got a really, really solid hold on C at the moment. So despite losing B after only 1 push, which was rather disappointing for our standards, we had a pretty decent hold on C. And this is kind of an unorthodox hold. It's not a hold that you use very, very often. But you just have to adapt to how the enemy team plays, and they seem to be working well. Now, as you can see, there's ×4 on the last point, and again, we're asking our flank, what's going on? Do you need us to rotate? Do you need some help? We do get a double kill there. That's a heavy and a demo pick, and they're getting a lot of cap time now. Getting a lot of cap time, and we're getting a little bit worried because, they could capture last, and if they cap last, then they win. Our spy gets the medic, so our spy getting quite a lot of key frags there. Pretty much takes down the combo himself. I'm looking behind me to make sure there's no spy, nothing else coming into flank. And we're just trying to block from this BC connector area. Now the thing is, because they haven't captured C point, the only way they can get on the point is if they have classes that can jump. So a scout or a soldier, something like that, or a demo. So if we kill those players, if we kill the scout, we kill the demo, the soldier, things like that, they can't actually stand on the point. But they are just sending a lot of players onto E now. And this is where we really need to focus our damage and stuff like that. Their medic seems to be a little bit caught out, but it's more a distraction than anything else. And yeah, they just get players on the point, and it does look like they are going to capture it. So 747 is fairly fast considering how well we were holding the third point there. And that was a weakness of that hold. That's something we obviously realised. If you're playing passive on C point, you really do need to make sure you rotate into the connector, because if you're holding in connector, it's a totally different story. You can block that point really, really comfortably. So that's kind of a strength and a weakness. Obviously, holding onto C point, you get a really, really strong hold on C using that hold. The downside being that it's less easy for you to rotate around and get access to the E point. Now, the E point, like I said, is the main important point on Steel. Once you've captured E, the game ends. That's it. Doesn't matter if you've captured any other points, you have to capture E. That's the main thing. Okay, and if you capture more points, the faster the cap goes down. So if you capture A, B, and C, once you've captured C, there's some bridges that extend, and it makes it a lot easier for other classes like the heavy and the medic and stuff like that to get onto the point and help capture it. But you'll probably see that as we do this. So we're on the attacking phase now. I'm just staying in spawn. I want to stay nice and safe. I don't want to get killed. The enemy sniper does take down our demo, so he's not going to be able to do much until he respawns. And as you can see, we've just got lots of time on A point. We're just getting the A capture, no resistance at all. Just sending some players back through spawn now. We're going to do something onto B. I'm just trying to heal my sniper so that he... you remember when I was on the defending team, our sniper was kind of holding passive and watching this channel. So our players are just going in now. I'm not going to peek until I know it's safe. We do get the demo pick there. Our pyro gets the demo pick, which is pretty big. So that means we can walk in. We're not going to have to deal with spam damage, but we do lose a lot of players. It's not really good for us. However, I just keep the rest of the Uber on our demo, and he manages to get not only just the sentry, but also the NG. So we have no sentry to worry about, and we have no NG rebuilding it. So now I'm just trying to, heal my pyro so he can make a little bit of space, and that space is what allows our sniper to get a bit of, to scope in and see what's going on. And now we just kind of come in and take the space. Our heavy's got high ground. I try to arrow, but I'm a second too late as he gets headshot there. So I'm just trying to stay out of the sniper sight line. I don't want to get sniped here. I just want my team to get presence on the point, which they do very well. So it's a little bit slower than the enemy team captured B on, but we do it pretty well. I'm pretty comfortable with how that went down. They do use Uber here, which I think is their mistake, as it doesn't really do anything, and that's given us a huge Uber advantage now. That soldier did try and come in and get the force onto me. So we're just ploughing through now. We're going through BC connector. We want to go straight onto C points, as we have a huge Uber advantage. And I'm using, our demo wants to jump straight in. So instead of delaying, I use it straight away. He takes down the sentry again. That's huge, as they've put so much kind of investment onto C with this sentry. And now it's just about keeping my players alive. My demo and my pyro are really, really important, because my pyro can just deny space, but my demo can just put down so much damage. As you can probably see from the logs later on, if you look in the description, that's where I'll put them. And our demo can just spawn camp here. He can hold down this spawn, make sure they don't come out. We capture the C point now, so we've got 5 minutes, and we just got to capture E point. And we can choose to capture D if we want. The benefit of capturing D is that it blocks off the enemy spawn on one side, so it makes it harder for them to get access to the E point. So we're trying to take control of this area here. This is called White Room, because it's got white walls, white floor. And we just come in and we just kind of plow through. The enemy scout is on a 9 kill streak, so he was doing pretty well, kind of killing people on the flank. But here we're just kind of chilling. We just want to get some kind of simultaneous cap going on. We can capture D, we can capture E. They have to block one or the other. If they come to block D, then, you know, we just capture E, and it makes it easier for us. But they can't come through because we've got pretty good positioning there. And now I just want to stay on this side. This is what we call E side. And this little area up here, it's hard to block if you've got a sentry up there, because a sentry up there can really deny the point. But I'm just getting some extra cap time. I can see how close the cap is, but we do lose a few players. I just popped my Uber there. Chose not to flash my soldier as we were so close to getting the cap. But yeah, so we get the cap there with plenty of time to spare. And you can kind of see the two different styles there. It's two different styles in the fact that the enemy team captured A and B and then went for E, whereas we just captured all of the points. And like I said, the more points you capture, the faster the E point captures when you do finally get on there. So this is just a little bit of downtime in between the rounds now. The good thing about that for me, for that round, was that I didn't die. Not dying as a medic just means that you can put out a lot of heals for your team, and obviously you're always going to be in the advantage when you have Uber. So that worked out really well for us. My team did really well in protecting me. So that was a really good bonus. But in general, looks like we are ready to go again. But yeah, in general, you know, not dying does help. But the thing about dying on steel, another thing, the attacking team gets much faster respawns. Okay, so if you're on the attacking team, you're on the blue team. If you die at the same time as a red player, then you're going to spawn earlier than he does. And the good thing about that is you can go in, you can get a frag, trade yourself for a frag, and then you're going to spawn. You're going to spawn faster. So that's something to be aware of. This is just still downtime. We're waiting for the teams to switch, because we're not actually. There we go. Because we are attacking first. In ETF 12, it does go ABBA. So one team attacks first, and then the next round they defend first. So we're attacking first this time around, and we're just kind of doing the same thing. You know, just going through the motions and doing the same process. But that's something, yeah, to remember. If you're on the defending team, especially when they've captured some of the points. If you've captured more points as the attacking team, the defending team gets even longer respawns, to the point where if you've captured the first, you know, A, B, and C, you can have sort of 20-25 second respawn on the defending team, which is absolutely horrible when you consider it. You know, if you're an important class like a medic or a demo, then it's going to be really, really long time before you can actually help your team again. So it's really important, especially as you're on the defending team, to really value your life. But on the attacking team, take advantage of the fact that your spawns are faster. So again, I'm just trying to stay out of any sightlines and trying to buff my players as best they can. Big pick from our sniper. He takes down the demo. So that means there's no sticky traps, no spam damage. Our demo comes back, says, right, we're going in. And we just come in. We're just trying to get the force on the medic. The medic uses straight away, which is really good for us. Most of their Uber goes on the heavy. So he's not going to be able to chase, which is why I'm kind of standing here. He's not going to be able to chase me down back into the spawn. So I can still stay aggressive with my team. And I'm trying to keep heals on my demo man. I gave a little buff there to my pyro. My pyro asked for a buff. He said, can I have a buff? I want to go and help the top. So he's gone up top to try and get a little bit of space. But unfortunately our heavy died at the same time. So then our demo says, okay, let's swap around. Let's rotate. I'm going to go top now. And trying to put some damage down. So it's all about poking through different angles, making sure the enemy team's you're not predictable to the enemy team, you know. I'm getting a little bit weak here, so I don't want to risk dying especially not when I've got that much Uber. Our spy does get a big pick onto the engineer, so that's no engineer to worry about. And our demo says, right, use straight away, and we kind of didn't need to use straight away there. So that's probably my bad. I was expecting them to be a lot more aggressive than they were. But I suppose because they lost the sentry, the NG, and they didn't have a sentry, it didn't really matter. They didn't have to hold aggressive. So our soldier comes in from the flank and gets a pick on the medic. So we did kill the medic there. And that took a while, but that's a pretty standard B push, if I'm honest. Like, you go in, you exchange, the enemy team has got high ground, they've got sentry, they're going to be in a pretty solid, but less than 2 minutes for B is pretty good. And now we're just trying to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going through, and this is all based on spawns. If they had a lot of spawns and they were blocking this BC connector, we wouldn't be able to walk straight through in here. So we just had to be aware of how many players are up and where those players are. That's the biggest thing in here. So I'm holding here because I don't want to die. That arrow somehow didn't hit my demo, and he dies to a roller. So he wasn't too happy for me. But that arrow should have hit. You guys saw it. You guys saw the demo. Pause it. Where did that arrow land? Because it definitely wasn't on my demo. But I got Uber now. And I'm hiding in this corner because I just don't want to get spammed at all. I don't want them to see where I am. But if I didn't have my team on the point, I wouldn't have been stood here. But because I've got my team here, I've got Uber. It's okay for me to be a little bit more aggressive. And I can see on the STV demo, there's a scout up there. In the real life, I didn't realize he was behind me. He could have killed me there. So that's something we need to be aware of, I suppose, in the future, is that it's possible for a scout to go all the way behind. Now, I use the Uber here. They have a sentry up in this white room, which is an interesting strat. It's not something we see very, very often. So now we're just trying to attack D point, because that's where the majority of their players are. And like I said, our spawns are better than theirs. As long as we can get kills, then we're going to be in a good position. Our pyro gets the medic kill, but then spy comes in, and I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I'm just trying to juke around and make the spy not know where I'm going to be coming out, and I do manage to actually escape here. I'm trying to go back through. I'm saying to my team, I'm going through A! So a little bit of jukerino there just to get away, and I can reconnect with my pyro. My pyro came through that A side because I said to him, this is where I'm getting out. This is where I'm getting out, and that's where he comes to meet me. And we've taken control of this E side now. We're getting a little bit of pressure on here. This is a little bit risky, because it was only me and my pyro, but because our combo, our demo and our heavy told us that they were coming through, they said to us, yep, we're coming through, this is, it's safe. Our scout asked me for an arrow. He said, can I have an arrow on E? And I said, where on E? And he was like, I'm on the bottom. I was like, okay. And then he died anyway. So yeah, I'm really close to Uber now. And this is, again, like I said, this is a really safe space up top. If they are pressuring, then you can hold up there pretty comfortably. But I use on my soldier and my demo here because they've got lots of splash damage. With those explosive weapons, they can just go in and do so much damage. And our spy comes around the back and gets the med pick with all of the distraction. But yeah, in general, I'm trying to run away, but the soldier gets me. So that's my first death in the game, in this match. And it doesn't really matter too much. It just meant that I couldn't heal my team, and I suppose that's bought them a little bit of extra time. They're still capping, and they're still getting frags, but we would have probably have capped by now if I'd stayed alive. So that soldier coming in definitely did buy them a few extra seconds. We're just holding in this connector now because Spy gets another frag. And he's just denying the point a little bit longer. It's just extra seconds. Extra seconds can be absolutely invaluable on this map. So definitely, if you're down to your last couple of players, throw bodies on the point. If you know that they're going to cap, just buy those extra seconds. It's hard to kind of overstate how important the extra seconds can be, because the amount of times I've seen this map go to a win because of 1 second, 2 seconds, really, really close games. So yeah, a couple of extra seconds there. So 5:25. It's a fairly fastish time. We're pretty happy with that, but still, it could have been faster if we hadn't have beefed at the end there, and if I hadn't have died to that soldier. So again, we're just doing the same sort of defense. Let's pop in some Ubers, just practicing my flashing skills before the game starts. And yeah, pretty much similar setup. This is the kind of setup you're going to see on most of the top teams. The sniper watching there, there's kind of a sight line where you can look through the window, and you can see the dot there on the window. It's very easy for him to kind of shoot the legs and the lower body of the players that come through before they can even see him. So most important, just to keep him buffed, so make sure he's not going to lose any sniper v sniper fights. The sniper we're playing against, K-Cot, is very good. We know him from playing on our team last season. Now there's a spy there. Our heavy is a bit paranoid. He does realise that it's a spy. Our heavy does have really good ears for spy, and you can see on the STV where he is, but obviously in the actual game you can't see. And then I see him jumping around. That's a really common strategy for teams, is just to send their spy to kind of sap the sentry in a kind of sacrificial sap, and then just Uber in, and that way it's a really easy sentry pick. Because we do lose our demo to a sniper, and then we lose our heavy to a sniper, we're not in a very good position here. We don't have combo classes, it's just me and my pyro. Our engineer has a bit of a passive sentry, so we're not going to be able to deny this choke very much. So at this point it's probably like, yeah, we probably want to get out here. We just lost our sniper, so we don't have the control. I try to arrow my pyro. There you go, Steve, if you're watching. I tried to arrow you, but someone got in the way. Who got in the way there? Was it Toast? Blame Toast. I almost died to a spy there. Had no idea he was behind me. Should have been checking my back. But our heavy fortunately kills him before he gets the frag, and that would have been really, really important. If that spy had got me, then we would have probably have to have given up C as well. So that was a really important kill coming from our heavy. So I don't really I owe him that, and we're just kind of okay deciding what we're going to do here. We do have Uber, so we could have held aggressive, but seeing how effective our hold worked before, we're going a little bit passive. There we go. So the call was that they were going straight for E. So we have to rotate all the way around, and we want to block the E point. I'm waiting for my team. They got cap time. We're not rushing. We're not worried. We're just going through, and we're going to... I'm checking my back here. I'm really worried about spy coming behind me. As you can see, because it's an STV demo, there is nothing behind me, but I don't know that. I'm always double checking. We get some huge picks there. Great timing coming in from our demo and our soldier, just to come in from different points and kind of get frags coming in from different angles. Our NG there, Seal, getting a rescue ranger kill. And now we're just holding in this white room area. So at this point we can't really defend C anymore. Our flank is probably holding over C, giving us intel where they're coming from. So this is a bit of a different hold for us now, because with the time left, we have a suspicion, seeing as they've just tried to push E, and with the fact that the time's dwindling down, it pretty much means that they have to go and cap E straight away. And I've had this Uber for a long time. The longer I have Ubers, the more I kind of get nervous about something coming to get me. So I keep checking around for a spy. I can see through that window that they're coming through BC connector. I can see like through that area. So it's a pretty good visual cue. We trade Ubers here. I just flashed my heavy there because I didn't want him to take damage. And as you can see, there's no bridges extended because they haven't captured C. But that's a really unfortunate kill. We lose our heavy. We've lost our soldier as well. But like I said, they haven't captured C, so they can't get all of their classes on the point. They can only get soldier, demo, pyro, anything that can jump somehow. I take a pipe there. Maybe I should have been a little bit more passive. But most importantly, our pyro got a really, really big kill on the medic. So that meant the medic was medic down. And just trying to see. So this is where the enemy team is at the moment. I'm still dead. I'm still spawning. There we go. I'm alive now. Yeah, our pyro got a kill on the enemy medic, so that just stunted their healing, and then the rest of our team just collapsed on those players while they were weak. Did cost me my life. So I'm just buffing my sniper there. I want him buffed, so he can get some frags and not worry about sniper v sniper for a couple of seconds. And then I rotate back around here. Like I said, really important players are my demo. Really want to make sure he's okay, because he can spam the point. He can deny this point really well. Look, there you go. Scout's trying to get on the point. He can't, because our demo's flinging stickies at him and our heavy's shooting at him. So our demo's getting a little bit more aggressive now, trying to control this this BC connector, because that's where it seems the enemy team is pushing from. Because there's so many different ways they can get through onto the point. It's really important, like I said, communication with your team to let you know where they're coming from. So our demo's backed off. He said they're coming through. So we're just giving them a little bit of space. But you look at the time, there's 10 seconds left on the clock. It takes 40 seconds for the last point to cap. I die there with 6 seconds left on the clock because my team baited me. So that's a third death when it really should have been 2. But that's the end of the game. That was us. Ali likes to change the team name to Big Pooh, so that's why it says Big Pooh wins. But there we go. Yeah, that was 2 rounds on Steel. So that's the first time I've actually done demo review on Steel. We did play it again. I'm going to end the demo. There we go. That's the first time I've done a demo review on Steel. We have played it, pretty much all the time, every season. We did play it a couple of times this season. We played it also in the upper bracket semi-final in the playoffs. We won that one as well. And we've also played it in it was in the Deutschland final last year. And we also played it in UGC in one of the, I think it was the upper bracket final. So it's a map we've played quite a lot, but I thought I'd take this opportunity and show you guys finally one of the maps that you have not seen before. So like I said, that's probably the last medic POV I'm going to show you guys, unless there's any of the maps that you guys are desperate to see. There are older videos of pretty much every map we've played, so you can check those out. But I will be talking to my team, trying to get them to do some demo reviews so we can see some of the different classes and see some of the games they've played and hear some of their opinions. And I will try to do different maps than they did before. So, for example, I think I don't know. I haven't spoken to them about which maps they want to do, but we'll try to do different maps so it's not the same maps that they did demo reviews with me last season. But as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep your eyes out for those demo reviews in the future, and I'll see you next time.